So there's not a whole lot to comment on from the last few weeks, but I was really happy to attend the grand openings at Wild Fork on LaGrange and Roses and Kebab at Harlem. And of course, the highlight of every year is the Special Rec Awards dinner, which is fantastic. You know, yeah, it's getting into silly season, and if you listen to what you've heard is that I think I'm the most notorious criminal in Illinois since Al Capone. There's been nothing that we've done right. And I think you've heard me on this board many times talk about public safety. And, you know, that all the boards prior to us supported public safety. And then that's one of the reasons why, since I've been mayor, you know, the last 6 years, the lowest we've had in the last 31 is because it was already built and we just made it better. Special Rec, same thing. I don't even know when it started, but it was here before I got here. And, you know when it started? So I don't even know how far back it goes. But it's fantastic. It's a fantastic program, and we're making it better. We're adding an all-abilities playground to Schuessler Park next year. So I can thank the boards previously because I can actually, you know, not everything people did before is wrong. There's a lot of stuff that wasn't good, but there's things that were good too. So we can acknowledge that. The last week was full of events for veterans. A cause that, as you all know, is near and dear to my heart. I want to thank Carl Sandburg High School, my alma mater, for hosting us veterans at an appreciation event. I also want to thank Jerland Junior High for specifically inviting me to a spaghetti dinner on Veterans Day. I was also proud to speak at our veterans ceremony for the 8th time. And later that day, we broke ground on our new veterans building and our new Vietnam Memorial in front of the building. I encourage everyone to swing by and take a look at that. It's beautiful, and I think the mock-ups are still there. It's not quite, it's going to be, what, about another week till it's complete, but if you went there now, it still looks the same, other than the posts are going to be different. It's really well done, so thank you, Joel, and thanks to the team for getting that all moved and doing a great job with that. My last event for the week was to speak at the Medal of Honor event at Carl Sandburg High School. The Medal of Honor bus, the Valor Express, went to Andrew and Sandburg the week before the event on Saturday, and over 960 young ladies and young men were able to learn about the Congressional Medal of Honor. And I heard nothing but positive comments from the gentleman who put this on for them. I want to thank both Andrew Sandburg and District 230 for hosting those events. And given the silly season, people always ask me why I do this, given the garbage, lies, attacks on my family, and I've been dealing with a lot of them of late. It's because I know I make a difference, and I do enjoy building on Orland Park's strengths and making it better for the future. That's what we're all trying to do here. But I also love weeks like last week and having a platform as mayor to talk about issues that are important to me and others. So I didn't have a lot to talk about. I'm still going to talk about something. Tonight, I'm going to use this platform to repeat the comments I made Saturday at the Medal of Honor event. I have over 45 combat sorties, and I'm fortunate that I lost no friends during those missions. I'm also lucky that flying the F-15E in combat is not up close and personal, and it's not hand-to-hand. Two of the people I'm closest to in the entire world, who were both naval officers, wouldn't have expected to see carnage up close and personal either. But they did. My first cousin, who's the same age as me, was on the USS Iowa when it exploded and 47 crew members were killed. It was horrific for him to be standing at the door by the turret when the captain ordered the door sealed, which killed everyone inside, but saved the rest of the ship. He was just 24 years old at the time, 23. My best friend that I grew up with here in Orland Park was a Navy Seabee and was activated and sent to Iraq to oversee reconstruction. On his last day of a one-year tour, his Humvee was hit by an IED. He was lucky. He lived and suffered bruises and cuts, but he tells the story of helping to keep 2 members of his protection detail alive from the horrible injuries they suffered. These are 2 of my best friends in the entire world that I still talk to on a weekly basis. But even though those incidents are decades old, what I just told you is all that I know about those incidents. They don't talk about them to me, and I don't ask. But I also know that they have both dealt with those issues in their own way by speaking to those people who they needed to speak to. However, too many of our soldiers don't talk to anyone about the mental anguish they've been experiencing. Suicide rates for veterans are nearly double that the rest of the population. This is a preventable national tragedy. Please, if you know anybody that you think is suffering, please encourage them to talk to someone, to anyone. All of these veterans are heroes, regardless of whether they receive medals for it or not. All of them and all of us who served took an oath of office that included the following: I take this obligation freely, without any mental reservations or purpose of evasion. Everyone, whether they were a volunteer or a draftee, took this oath and made a decision to serve, fight, and potentially die for our country. At that time, most of us would say that we were doing all this for our country. However, I can tell you, when the shooting starts and you're in combat, anyone who tells you that they're fighting for their country is not telling you the truth. The thought of fighting for your country never comes to mind. You might be fighting to see your family again, but you are definitely fighting for the man or woman next to you, and certainly you are fighting to survive. I can also assure you that nobody is thinking about earning medals either. They are trying to get to the next day. But sometimes our soldiers are presented with challenges that push them to the limits of human endurance, strength, character, and courage that thankfully few of us ever experience. To date, 3,519 Americans who have served in the United States military have faced these challenges head on and for their actions received the Congressional Medal of Honor. Over half of those who have received the Medal of Honor died from the actions that earned it. The heroism of those who earned the Medal of Honor is unparalleled. We were honored to host the Valor Express here in Orland and to have given our residents a chance to learn more about the Congressional Medal of Honor and those who have received it. I thought the retired United States Air Force Colonel Michael Coleman, who knows most of the living Medal of Honor winners, said it very well. They are all ordinary people who were put in situations where courage met circumstance. The lesson learned here is all of us are capable of the extraordinary, provided we have the courage and perseverance to meet the challenges we face. Thank you for listening to that repeat of what I said the other day, and please enjoy your Thanksgiving. I hope to see you at the Turkey Trot Thanksgiving Day, the Christmas tree lighting and holiday parade on December 1st, and the public safety meeting, which has been moved to December 4th. It's no longer on December 3rd, and it's gonna be right here in this boardroom, so I hope to see you there. With that, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.